Raycons are not very good, and I made that very clear in my full review of it, which if you're interested, I will be making sure to leave a link in the description. However, it's not that everything about them is really completely terrible. Like, for example, I do like the fact that they're somewhat comfortable, they're built well, they have a pretty nice charging case, they support USB-C and wireless charging, and all that sort of stuff that they do lend to a pretty attractive product overall. However, the issue with them is that they sound pretty bad. I do not like how they sound at all, and once more, I did make that pretty clear in my full review. I felt that way about budget earbuds for quite some time, to be honest. Whether it is at around that price tag, or just slightly lower, or slightly higher for that matter, it's just usually been a pretty similar experience overall when it comes to budget earbuds. However, that train of thought is something that will most likely be ending today, as a matter of fact. There's now one pair that has made me reconsider my stance on this matter. And this is going to be Creative's newest pair, and that is going to be the Creative Outlier Gold truly wireless earbuds. This pair is only around $100, and let me tell you that in spite of which price tag you find them at, this pair is absolutely worth it. Can they honestly truly dethrone Raycons? As I've already said before, I don't love Raycons, however, I really like these, so spoiler alert, the answer is absolutely yes. Let's dive in to why. And now here's a quick disclaimer. This product was sent to me for review. However, in spite of this kindly gesture, I will not let that affect my opinions and thoughts on this product, as otherwise it would not be a very fair review for you guys. So with that said, let's start off with an unboxing. And the unboxing is going to be pretty simple as per usual. Just cut through the tape on the box, lift up the lid, and then remove the plastic cover. The earbuds are sitting in their own slots, while the case is right next to them. Then you can take them out, put them in the case, and then lift up the container underneath. Then you'll find some instructions with a bunch of extra ear tips and a USB-C charging cable. It's a simple unboxing, but it does come with pretty much everything that you would need out of these earbuds in terms of accessories, so I'm really appreciative there. And the exterior design of these earbuds is going to consist of this very solid plastic. And yes, it is plastic, as it is what you're going to find on the vast majority of earbuds out there, and if not all of them as a matter of fact. But you do want to keep these as light as possible. And even though these are pretty large in comparison to a bunch of other pairs of the same caliber or category, these are still quite comfortable. And I'm gonna get into that a little bit later, and they don't really look as ridiculous as you might think. The design overall looks really sleek, and really modern, and they do have this really cool golden coating, obviously, and it's just going to be paint, not real gold. However, these are really sturdy and they feel great. So with that said, into the case. Next up, it's just going to be the actual charging case for these buds. Now this case is definitely going to be a little bit more so on the large side. Thanks to its shape and its design, it might become a little bit unwieldy and a little bit tougher to store away in like your pockets or something like that, at the very least if you're around my size, I suppose. However, this case is also entirely constructed of plastic, even though it is still pretty sturdy and strong plastic. I haven't really had any issues with this case when it comes to flexing or cracking or anything like that. The worst earbuds case you can ever come across is going to be from the Razer Hammerhead's True Wireless, no doubt. This case is at least 10 times better than that case could ever dream of being. And that is coming from a very reputable and popular company. However, Creative, it's definitely a lot more underground, and they can still make a much sturdier charging case that's constructed of a much stronger case and everything along the lines. You're going to end up finding that exact same golden coating out around the exterior of this case, even though again, it is still going to be just plastic. In this case, it's going to slide out instead of just open up. You're going to get a couple of LED indicators around the top to let you know about the charge, how well charged each individual bud will be along the way, and you're also going to get a USB-C connection for charging, which is something I very much appreciate. And also considering how large these buds are going to be overall, I do kind of understand why they needed to go for such a large case in the first place. And it's not only that, but it's also pertaining to the massive battery, or at the very least, the variety that this case appears to have. And I will give you a lot more information on that as we move forward. And with these buds, you also get a couple of gestures to make the user experience just a little bit easier on you without you necessarily having to reach for your phone or anything like that. And some of those gestures would include volume controls and the ability to trigger the assistant, play and pause music, answering and hanging up phone calls, etc. This is going to be a pretty good selection overall, and I very much appreciate having those. My only issue with this is just that they kind of depend on an actual physical button that you do have to press down. And I'll also get a little bit more into that as we approach the complaints of this video. One of the most important factors of owning any pair of earbuds, in my opinion, is always going to be how comfortable they are. And these buds actually very much surprised me in that department, considering that I usually don't consider buds with this kind of ear tip design to be very comfortable. And in this case, these actually completely exceeded my expectations in the long run, because in spite of their size, I actually felt like they're going to fall off at any point or at the very least. However, I've been extremely lucky with these, as they've never actually fallen off through normal usage, and I very much appreciate that. In terms of comfort, I'm very happy with these, and these don't require any sort of hook or anything like that in order to give you a decent fit. And I really appreciate that. And not to mention that you do get a ton of different options for different ear tips in order for these to fit your ear. I'm very happy with the comfort levels when it comes to this pair as well. And as for sound quality, this is going to be another one of the most important factors in regards to earbuds in general. And I have to say that I was also very pleasantly surprised here. And in terms of sound quality, these completely destroy Raycons in that department too. Allow me to explain. Listening to music is very enjoyable with these. Because of their larger size, these have a wider soundstage, which means that it's immediately better for a lot of genres of music than the majority of other earbuds that you might find in this category out in the market. The benefits of this wider soundstage become especially apparent when listening to clean vocals. It's honestly beautiful and pretty crisp overall. I even enjoy listening to metal with these, and another big thing is that these have quite a bit of bass. And it's not muddy and disgusting bass, but it is instead concentrated, tight, and precise bass that makes bass-heavy music a joy to listen to. And I have to say, honestly, incredible work on these buds. I actually really like these for listening to music, and all genres for that matter. And yet another massive feature from these earbuds is going to be the amazing battery life. From these buds, on a full charge, you should be expecting around 10 hours of battery life, which is completely unheard of within this category of earbuds, if I do say so myself. And the charging case itself will provide you with an additional 30 hours of listening. And that is going to be way better than the Razer Hammerhead True Wireless, a lot better than AirPods 2, even AirPods Pro, much better than Raycons, and it's just so surprising. I can use these for pretty much an entire week before I have to charge the charging case at all, as I always put these back inside of the case to charge whenever I'm not using them, like at school or at work and stuff like that. So these have never really fully died on me, unlike the other pairs that I just mentioned. And that is worth mentioning. The battery life is a huge win here. However, nothing in life is perfect, and that is going to include these buds, as they do offer a couple of compromises, which to others might not be a huge deal, but for myself personally, these were things that did bother me a little bit. So allow me to get into those. A giant button in the middle would be much better put to use as a touch pad that works through touch inputs instead of button presses. And just having a physical button there, it gets pretty uncomfortable when you want to use any of the gestures, because you're always pushing the earbuds in when you're using them, and it just gets really uncomfortable. It would also be nice if these immediately try to pair once you've opened up the case, instead of having to turn them on individually. It would just make things a lot more convenient in that matter as well. And now to enter my conclusion. I have to say that these buds are absolutely incredible. And not only for the price, but for just everything that it offers. I think that they sound great, I think they look pretty good, and they're pretty stylish. And in terms of battery life, they are fantastic as well. And just the build quality, pretty much everything about these is going to be quite nice. Even in terms of phone calls. The microphones do seem to work pretty well there. They do get a ton of gestures too, which could make it a lot easier for you to use this on a day-to-day. And I really like that. There are maybe just a couple of compromises. I'm not a huge fan of the large case, even though you do get quite a lot out of it, so I'm not exactly complaining about it, and it's only because of the size really. And the physical button isn't my favorite, and the pairing mechanism isn't also my favorite either, considering that these could be a little bit more seamless to pair overall. However, in comparison to Raycons, these are way better. And with the right marketing, I think that these would sell a lot better as well. Honestly, I really love these, and for the price, they're absolutely worth it. Highly recommended. And if you're interested in purchasing this pair, then I will be making sure to leave affiliate links to Amazon in the description. And if you use my links and make a purchase, then I do get a small commission that does help me run things just a little bit more smoothly around here. So if you were to use those, I would appreciate that quite a lot. That said, this has been Francisco from Tech Summit. Thank you for watching, and I'll be seeing you all later. Enjoy.